Okay, real talk, real talk. Hey you, welcome to my channel. My name is Tori. I talk about personal wellness and growth and development, and I also talk about my own personal journey. As most of us in life, we're all going through some sort of healing, I'm sure, recovery from something, whether that's from our past or mental illness or like trauma, like anything really to heal from, relationships. I'm sure everyone at this point has got something to overcome. Life is hard. COVID, we've all experienced, that was hard. My point in saying that is a lot of what I share is motivational speaking and using what I've learned to help other people. And also, it's important to remind myself, like, when things get really hard and I get really stressed out, that as long as I practice what I preach, I'm gonna be fine. I've discussed on most of my videos, but since my channel is relatively new, I'll just repeat myself. But I'm currently in grad school for counseling psychology. I graduate 10 days from today. So that's crazy. It's really nice to have the support of everything I've learned throughout this process as well and make connections towards my personal experience and then also like factual data and knowledge about so many different topics, especially mental health. I wanted to make this video today because I know I'm almost done, but like I'm hitting a point. This process has been super, super difficult a lot of the time where I'm stressed out, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, I'm fatigued, and all I really had time for and energy for is like my program and work and self care. I definitely try my best to self care. I feel like if I didn't make efforts throughout the day to tend to my needs, there's no way I would have like gotten through this program like sane. Um, there have been a few questionable moments here and there, like burnout is so real, and it's scary. It's scary. Like I have a history of depression and anxiety. Thankfully, I haven't experienced that as like a disorder or had to take medication in years now. Um, but I'm humble enough to know that like in a perfect storm, these things can come back, and that's why practicing what I preach and having the opportunity to always utilize the skills that we teach our clients, holding myself accountable has been super, super rewarding and helpful for me. Because I can't forget to do that myself, especially in this demanding season of my life. This channel is like more of a passion of mine. It's not like I started with a goal of like making money or I don't think that it probably won't ever get that big. Um, but I think it's always helpful for me to journal, and this to me is like another form of that. Um, so I feel like sometimes there are so many things that I've learned that I want to share because if it can help other people, I want to do that. I don't want to like gatekeep it, but I also think it's important for me to look back on because it's all like genuine to me and it's all like I'm so passionate about it. So um, I think lately it's just been super hard because even though I'm closer than I've ever been to finishing the process and starting a new chapter, it's still like I'm still really stressed out right now, and I'm so excited for the next chapter. Like I'm so excited to just like rest and chill um, before I figure out what's next. But I also am pretty scared and unsure and anxious. And I'm very lonely. Like, I'm in just, this theme has just been coming up a lot for me. Like if you've seen my other videos as well, like I'm just lonely. Like I'm in a very lonely phase. I don't really have a social life. I'm very lucky because, like it's very easy for me to make friends and like connect with others, but I think I'm just lacking like hanging out with people, making plans with people, and having like intimate relationships, um, like deep friendships where, there's consistency and like I need like mental stimulation, like depth. I don't have, all my friends. I'm about to be 29 this month. I have some close friends that are my lifelong friends that I've had since childhood, high school, college. But now that I'm like edging 30, ew. Well, not ew, but like, it's just weird. It's bizarre because I still feel like I'm in my early 20s. Everybody's in a different place in life. And also, a lot of those friends are like sprawled throughout the state or the country. And I don't see people like on a regular basis. I don't even remember the last time I like met up with somebody to like hang out. So yeah, I'm just craving like finding my group and finding like my people. I'm planning to move out of state hopefully by the fall or latest like the end of the year. Um, So I'm just like praying and working really hard and trying to save and trying to be financially smart and strategic about it. There's a lot of things that I need to do to make sure my ducks are in a row before I actually move. I have my vision boards. This one I made last year and this one I made this year earlier, and as you can probably see, it's like a bunch of travel. Don't underestimate vision boards because I made this one and it says like saving on it, um, travel, and after this, I took myself on 3 solo vacations. I saved over $10,000. So I think that what vision boards do is they allow you to look at your goals every day, like multiple times a day. And so, like, subconsciously, you're like tunnel visioning. Ever since I took my first solo vacation, it's just been like I had this like travel bug where I'm like, wow, I could do this. Like, I don't have to wait to go with anyone else. If I want to go somewhere and I have the means to do it, I figure out the cheapest plan and I go. It's been super helpful for my independence and, um, you know, that's why I think that developing a close relationship with yourself and being your own friend, that's where that will come in handy. I just wanted to make this video, like, so I can look back on it once I figure more stuff out and be like, wow, like I was here and now I'm there. I worked really hard and I just don't feel like I've made it yet. I don't think I'll feel that relief until I like walk across that stage and I like get that diploma in my hand. I don't think I'll feel like safe until that happens. I still have like 1 or 2 major assignments left and a couple days of my internship. One more class and I don't know, 2 more classes and a big presentation, and then that's it. I decorated my grad cap today. I also feel like now can be like a good opportunity to, I guess, talk about myself a little bit more because a lot of my videos are like motivational speaking, which is actually like another passion goal of mine is to do that in addition to like being a counselor. But I did want to transition a little bit to more of my story and like a little bit more about me and why I do what I do and all these like areas of my life. Um, I was born differently, as you can see. I have a rare medical condition called lymphatic malformations, a buildup in a specific area. For me, it's my face. It's the most common in the jaw. Enlarged jaw, enlarged lymph vessels, and a buildup of lymphatic fluid and extra lymphatic tissue surrounding the area. I've had about 50 surgeries since I was born. I used to have a trach, which is like a breathing tube. I had that from 1 month old to 18 years old. So I've always been different. I'm very lucky because my personality's always been very friendly, and I think I was raised by my parents with a lot of confidence, so I didn't really have trouble making friends or feeling too different. I think it wasn't until I was like in middle school that I had a sense of awareness of how much looking different was gonna affect my life and my relationships with others and like how I saw myself, how others perceived me or how I perceived them perceiving me just got very confusing for me to navigate. Maybe not middle school, it was probably earlier than that. I always knew I was different. I think that just really confused my identity a little bit and like how like I was supposed to make sense of what does this mean for me. And I struggled with other things too. Like I had like family drama and like friends drama and there were other things I went through that really negatively affected my mental health. So I feel like my mental health really also took a turn around like also around like 7 or 8 or 9 ish. Um, and so I dealt with like a lot of different mental health symptoms and was diagnosed with like a bunch of mental health disorders. I've been on like countless medications. I've been to treatment centers of all levels of care. Um, like there's just a lot of things that I struggled with, like a wide range. And so, in addition to my medical condition and, being in and out of hospitals for that, I was also in and out of hospitals for mental health and like other issues. So I think that it's just been a long journey. So my treatment experience, I've had probably 20 on average treatment admissions or maybe a little bit more um in like a 10-year period in total, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Um and so even before I started going to grad school, I had like such a thick experience and education on mental health, physical health, like wellness, like how to take care of yourself and love yourself, and like what certain issues that I was dealing with that I was getting treated for specifically, like certain things, what how to address them. So in terms of my medical condition, lymphatic malformations, it's a facial abnormality, so there's never gonna be like a cure. Like you can't just like remove it. It's always gonna be there. I think there's just gonna be like a lifelong maintenance of it. The more that the years are going by, the more I'm understanding how to address this diagnosis. But the older I'm getting and the more specialists I see also, like there is more things they can do to help correct or like drain like the fluid and take out the tissue and stuff, but it's like risky because there's nerves, there's like nerves like that, and I want to be able to talk and eat and smile, and um so it's like putting my trust in other people's hands. That's that on that. In terms of my mental health and my recovery and healing, from like mental health conditions and like trauma and all that. Like I said, I've not had to take medication for years. I don't experience disorders anymore. Like of course I have like I get depressed here and there. I get anxious here and there because I'm a person, and everyone does. And of course, I'm always gonna have the history of what I've been through, um, to where, like, yeah, in the perfect storm, like, it, like any of like these symptoms could like come out at some point, and I think that's why it's so important to like maintain like the coping skills and like the lifestyle changes that I've implemented. Um, because I can tell that, certain things I do now, like around this time of year, can be tough for me. So I go back into therapy when I need to, like just to be proactive and to have a little extra support. Right now, I don't have insurance, so I can't like always see a therapist right now. But that's what I did today. And so it's just to have more extra support because I'm also in a transitional period of my life. So yeah, just like being trying to be self-aware and trying to hold myself accountable when there isn't as much support. Like there's not as many friends I can go to, or if I can't see a therapist, or if I um don't have like the money that I might need for something. Just doing what I can. There's been times where like I lost like everything. I didn't like have a home, so I really just had to like be grateful and use what I did have. Um, and I think that's something that can be really difficult for people. Is like it's so easy when you are a victim of things, like of your circumstances or of like how the world is. Like, it's not that you're not like a victim of it, but it's hard to like live in victimhood. Like, it's easy to live there when you actually are, if that makes sense. But I think that like that's not staying stuck there doesn't do me any good. Um, it can be comfortable in a twisted way to have those like pity parties, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna keep me stuck. So yeah, I've been definitely stressed out and trying to center myself. What's been really helping me the past few weeks is incense, like smells, lighting incense, like that helps me in like multiple ways. Like my body, it relaxes my body. It like if I have a headache, like it helps with that. Or just like anxiety, like it calms me down. Um, I have to make sure I'm like keeping my living space clean and organized. Like it's so hard because I'm so busy and I'm so tired all the time with the schedule I have. So like anytime I have like off, all I want to do is like sleep and like scroll on my phone or like watch TV. But like I really have to try my best to like do things like cleaning, laundry, and make sure it doesn't pile up. Even things like cooking, like not having energy to do that, and then just like eating out. Like last week, I probably had fast food like more than I didn't, and I could tell now that I'm eating groceries this weekend, like the past few days, how much better I feel. Um, how much better my body feels and my mind. Like drinking enough water, um, like these basic things I think we often completely overlook when we're struggling. Um, because it's like, well, duh, these are the things. But, like, you have to keep doing them. Like, I have to keep doing them. You don't ever stop. You don't ever just stop doing dishes or stop doing laundry. Like, we're gonna have to do all these things for the rest of our lives. So, if we're not taking care of ourselves, showering, brushing our teeth, going to bed, having a good like bedtime routine, like making sure even if we don't sleep well, like it's so important to make sure we're going to bed around the same time every night. Like give yourself like a 2-3 hour range. Little things like phone habits, like it's so cliche, but it really like makes all the difference. That's your foundation, and so it's like reminding myself that you know this is everything I'm saying. I like we teach our clients this, so it's for everybody. Whether you've had a history of like mental health issues or you still struggle with like mental or physical health or not, like these are things that we all have to do. And if we're not doing them, we're not giving ourselves a fighting chance at feeling better in the ways that we need to. Um, I think that's something that I really just always rolled my eyes at because when I was really in the thick of struggling throughout the years, I'd be like, well, duh, like, I I'd be like, oh well, I tried everything. Like you don't even understand. Like I tried it all, and it's like, yeah, but you stopped. Like you gotta be consistent with it. Um, and I feel like that version of me, like those versions of me, would like hear myself talk right now and be like, shut up. But I'm right. It's hard though. It's harder when you're struggling to keep up on that stuff, but that's when it's the most important. Um, Something I also want to remind myself is it's not, and you guys obviously, but it's not always this hard. Like, it's not. It's really not. I really enjoy taking care of myself. I like enjoy cooking. I enjoy doing the laundry. I enjoy doing dishes. I know, but I enjoy it because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel self secure and independent and productive and what's the word? Like self efficacy? Like capable? It's like the principle of it. It's never really this hard anymore. So I also wanted to like extend that for hope. If you're going through a really hard time, like it's not always going to be that hard. Like, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, showing up for yourself as your own best friend, it's not always going to feel like a chore. It's not always going to feel so dreadful and painful, honestly. Like, it was so painful for me at first in the early stages of like trying to forgive myself or love myself, like that's painful. That's really hard, to face yourself. Um, Look at yourself in the mirror. That's hard for you. Like, but it's not always gonna be like that. It's really not. Um, and like, I think with any mental health condition, specifically mental health, maybe not every, but, I think, like, the more treatable ones, I don't know. I don't know everything. But my point is that a lot of these things, like, trauma also included, like, a lot of the negative behaviors, like self harming or like not eating or like addictions, like all these like symptoms and unhealthy coping mechanisms, a lot of it is rooted in like self worth and like not feeling deserving or not loving yourself. So once you get out of that and overcome that, and once you really start to like love yourself and appreciate yourself and like do like maybe like inner child work, I think that's also like once your beliefs about yourself change, like you're a lot less likely to hurt yourself when you don't want to hurt yourself. Um, and then just like any like habit or a lifestyle, like you can change the way your brain works and like in a lot of ways. Again, I'm not an expert in like every single mental health condition and everybody is different. And a lot of people are more severe than others. But you'd be so surprised how powerful the mind is and what you believe you become. And I made a video on this as well. Like, healing really is limitless. Like, nobody knows how much better you can actually feel. Um, you just have to keep going. And I really do think that, the placebo, where it's like, um, you know, the woman has cancer and the man has a pill and is like, this is going to cure your cancer. And she takes it and her cancer is cured. But what was the pill? It was sugar. But because she believed that this pill was going to cure her cancer, that's probably like, of course it doesn't apply to everybody, alright? Like, I don't know. But, like, you never know if you're somebody that can overcome, like, your, your, like, what you have going on mentally until you really put your all into it and believe that there's more for you out there. Um, and there might not be a reason for everything, but you can create meaning and a life worth living. Like, I don't think life is fun. I'm going to make it fun. I don't think life is like worth living. It's quality of living for most of us like sucks. I'm going to make it worth living for me. And that's like, I'm like going to do my best in my life to take hold of the reins and, I'm the only person that's gonna get me where I wanna go. I'm gonna make it happen. And you, if other people were able to have that mindset and truly have that belief in themselves, like that confidence is gonna come from. For me, it comes from knowing that I overcame and actively overcoming all the mess that I've been through in the past, and I'm still might be going through depending, you know? So I'm thinking, like, if I can, like, it's a miracle that I'm not only here, but I'm doing so well here. Like, no medication, no nothing. Like, I'm literally doing it by myself. And, like, you might have to, always be on medication, to get yourself to, like, do certain things. Like, you know, for example, like, you need a certain amount of dopamine to even get out of bed in the morning, like, psychologically. So if you need medication to give you that, um, but then that's, you still have to get up and do that. Like building the awareness skills and the willingness skills to, like, when there is opportunity where you do have control and you do have choice back, acting on them. Because staying stuck, it's not easy. And, like, again, like, life isn't necessarily easy for anybody, um, in different ways. And if you have to live your life, you might as well try your best to feel better and take care of yourself. What else are you doing? Like, what else am I doing besides trying to make myself feel better and live better and make my dreams happen? And I'm just very, very, very grateful and very blessed that I have the resources that I have, and I have who I am, and I've made the choices, big and small, little by little, throughout the years to get here. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that I'm privileged with, but there's a lot of hard work also that I could have gone either way. And, and so I mean, and take with that, you know, what you guys will. And for me, I just get to, like, look back on this video once I reach certain goals that I've mentioned in it, and I get to be like, oh my god, remember when you were so tired and so stressed, and, you know, you were so close and you couldn't even feel it yet because you were so tired and stressed. Like, listening to myself, I'm like, oh my god, yeah. 'Cause I'm usually a lot more bubbly. You know, I'm usually a lot more, like, you know, but no, I think that, like, this is why, like, I really need to make this, because there is a lot of hard work behind the scenes. There is a lot of challenge and grit and, like, grin and bear it type stuff. So again, take with that what you will. Take what helps or what might help and leave the rest. Like, if certain things I say don't apply to you, use your discernment, right? Because everyone's got something going on that's different, and not everything is going to apply to everybody, right? But I'm sure there's a few nuggets in there for at least anybody to pick up and be like, you know what? She makes a good point. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you for listening. If you listened to this whole thing, I really appreciate you. I know my channel is small, so, like, right now I have, like, 10 subscribers. Um, so I'm very grateful to even, like, push myself to keep doing this, because, at the end of the day, I just like to do it. I like to do it. So, yeah, until next time.